Joining me right now is the member of the Senate Finance Committee, Republican Senator from Texas, Senator John Cornyn, who's also head of the Republican senators in charge of making sure that that place turns Republican in about a year.
That's right. Good morning.
All right, Senator, what do you expect tomorrow?
Well, it'll be the 1,000th day without a budget, and that is a real problem. I mean, we've seen a 39% increase in the national debt since President Obama has been president, and because Harry Reid will not allow a budget to come to the floor and be debated and passed, which is really the only sort of governing device you have to keep spending in check. We've still got the same problem we've always had, runaway spending. We've got a huge debt overhang, which is killing economic growth, in other words, jobs. And we've got a regulatory environment where we see a lot of overreach that is causing the job creators to sit on the sidelines and not create new jobs. So it's kind of the worst of all worlds.
No kidding. And the way you framed it, where it's been 1,000 days without a budget passed, the House has passed budgets. The Republican-led House passes the budgets, send them over to your chamber, which is run by Democrats, and it just languishes there. Yesterday we saw John Boehner on the Chris Wallace show where he said, you know, the rap about we're a do-nothing Congress, we, and he's talking about the Republicans in the House, have passed 30 jobs bills, and we send them over to Harry Reid, and it just sits right on his desk.
Well, they're dead on arrival because Harry Reid controls the agenda of the Senate. And that's something I think people really haven't gotten their brains around. They're focused on the House, which has been very active, passed the budget, as you said. The president's own proposed budget last year failed 97-0. It's bipartisan opposition to his budget.
It was a stinker, though.
It was. It didn't deal with the debt. It didn't deal with runaway spending. And it didn't deal with the sort of predictability that the job creators in our economy need in order to make that investment, to create that new job.
The word is he's going to have a much more direct tone, and it's not going to be, hey, let's come together. It's going to be, look at how bad these guys are. He's going to bring up that he has a plan to save the housing crisis. He's going to show leadership with some new ideas, and he's going to make college more affordable. Does that sound like something that will turn Americans on?
It sounds like a retread of the last 3 years. You know, the president approach to government is only the federal government can do this, and the federal government knows better than you do what's good for you. That was what we heard in Obamacare. You will learn to love it once you find out what's in it. Well, what we learned is it's unaffordable, and it won't work, and it's discouraging job creation in this country. So what the president doesn't appreciate, I think, is our free enterprise system. And with limited government, with less government intrusion, it provides the incentives for the entrepreneurs and the job creators to start new businesses and to grow existing business. And what we need are jobs, Brian.
Yeah. Are you frustrated by, and we saw a little of the frustration in the final debate with Newt Gingrich down in South Carolina, where he was talking about how mainstream media defending the President of the United States. When you listen to, you know, a lot of the broadcast channels, it's directly from the White House what they're saying is going on in this country. It's the do-nothing Congress with those darn Republicans standing up against Barack Obama, who wants to make America better.
Well, that's why I appreciate Fox. You'll present both sides of the argument, let people decide for themselves, because it does seem that the mainstream media is primarily acting as a cheerleader for the president and his agenda. And what people don't realize, what's at risk, is the future of the country, the kind of prosperity that we've inherited from our parents and grandparents. Instead, we're going to give our children and grandchildren $48,000 each in debt the day our children are born, and that's wrong. That's just wrong.
No wonder they spank them once, wake them up.
Yeah, they'll hit them a few times, then they'll hit back when they get older.
Get used to it.
All right, Senator Cornyn, thanks so much. Great to see you in studio.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, sir.